Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to our channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna and Joe, the tech man. Anyway, can you believe today is February the 1st already? It's mind-blowing to me how fast life goes the older we're getting. So let me slip into the chat. We're going to have a small group today. Sean and Katie are live and doing FPP as well. So it must be FPP Sunday. So I'm going to slip into the chat and say hello to those that are here, and the ones that come in later can catch the replay. Michelle Crafton Moore, hello, sweetheart. Debbie Cornell, hello, honey. Let me see, it should be late your time. Days in the house. Oh, the YouTube's doing that. People having trouble finding thumbnails. It's all kinds of things. Yes, Day's quilt was beautiful. I love it. She worked very hard on that, and I am so proud of her. I'm going to make my breakfast. Be right back. She's making a protein shake, guarantee you. Good morning, Brenda. Can't wait to see you today. I have questions. I was considering going to bed to watch, but I will fall asleep, and I'm working on 3 quilt tops, joining the back so I can drop off at the quilting man tomorrow, or as I mean today. Our time zones mess with all of us. Let me see. Brenda Joy is in the house. Hello, sweetheart. Kathy, I'm here this morning sewing and doing laundry. Well, you need to slip over here and catch my laundry up. We've had our granddaughter all week because of the storm, the homeschooling and all that fun stuff. So I can guarantee you I am buried with laundry. We never use a towel twice, you know, girls. Donna Stitchery, hey, Auntie Donna, Papa Joe, Buttercup, Sienna, Pitches, and everyone in the chat. She cracks me up. Good morning, sweetheart. I hope date night was amazing for you. So anyway, my ultimate goal today is to really work hard on Larry, the Deviant. I think he's so stinking cute. He reminds me of our Buttercup, you know? The way her face is, the features, and things like that. So sometimes you just have to dig deep, go backwards, and just enjoy. Now, I do want to put a bug in your ear. I'm going to drop something in the chat, if I have not lost it. And then I'm going to pin it, if I can do that on my side. If you have not seen this video, copy that link. It's very, very important. Heather, the debt-free quilter, has joined the wagon with me and with YouTube land and giving back on Quilts of Valor. I watched her video she put up, and I've dropped the link here because together we grow, together we sew, and that's how we share. Quilts of Valor means a lot to me because my family has all served. And I lost my dad 21 years ago this year. And he was a diehard Marine. I have a son-in-law who was a Marine, family members in the Air Force. So the list goes on. Our family is diehard dedicated service. Heather's video made me cry. Tears of joy. And I want you to make sure that you do go over and support her. That was a hard video for her to do, and it's important that you make sure that you slip over. It's very heartwarming, and I just love her to death. So please check her video out today. Let me see. Shelly, hello, sweetie. And I'm just going to skim real quick. Okay, so I took yesterday and put all the skin, and by skin I mean the fabric to the paper. And then today is build out day. So right now I'll have Joe come down to the table. And what I'm working on is building the blocks for A. What you've seen behind me right here, I like to start with the hardest blocks and just knock them out. That way, by the time you get to the end of an FPP, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, why did I wait to do the eyes? Or why did I wait to do the mouth? Or whatever the case may be. So I generally, rule of thumb is I pick the hardest blocks and do them right out of the gate when you've got that gusto and really want to do. Second, I am not a legitkit certified instructor by any means. I'm just a girl who works on the back end with legit, doing quilts, and I just love FPP and I love legit. So with that being said, I just don't want any room for error or anything like that. So this morning while Joe and I was sitting here chatting and he was setting up, I went ahead and took the liberty to join all of the A sections. And there's a couple places that's very important. And I'll go over those as we join the B sections. And the ultimate goal is that we get all of A, all of B, we marry those together and then put them onto this by the end of today's video. Now, Donna is away and will not be live today, so if I seem to go a little bit longer today, that's okay. Just hang out here and play today. Keep it, Brenda. No sushi for me. Yeah, sushi scares me too. I just wanted to reach out through the screen and hug her with all my might. Aw. Heather's video was excellent. Yes, it was. So I'm going to go ahead and get this last one for A sewn in. And you have to remember when you're switching back and forth between FPP and traditional, check your bobbin, check your stitch length. It's really important. You don't want to get all of your pieces joined together and find out you're still at a 2.4 when you should have been at a 1. And then when you go to pick your paper apart, everything comes apart together. You don't want to do that. And FPP is definitely a messy way of quilting. I will not tell you it's not. You end up with paper all over your house, no matter how quick and tidy you try to keep things cleaned up. Not sushi, LOL, waffles, Eggos. Okay. Now we get it. I don't know why she says sushi. But anyway, if you like doing FPP of all kinds, not just legit, but any kind of FPP, drop me a heart in the chat, not in the sidebar. I'm just curious. And then this entire week, my goal would be to finish, wait a minute, A, B, C, D. Okay, E and F, and that would be the bottom sections. And I'll work on that behind the scenes. And over the following week, we should be able to wrap this one up. But I will not be doing these on a live. You'll just get to watch it grow behind me. And I know sometimes people like to see the FPP as it grows. And sometimes you just have, it's not for me. I'll slip in and say hi. So regardless, we're just going to have a darn good time today. Randy, hello and welcome. Thank you for coming. So as you can see, it's really important. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because I do this every time that we are joining together. But as you can see, it's really important that you're lining up as you're joining your parts together. Wherever your lines are, make sure that you are lining up. And that's going to make your project really just shine. Now, where I have these leftover little tiny pieces, I'm just going to snip that off. Less bulk in the end as we're going through the process. Is Heather in the house? I need her link. Click on the link at the top of the chat where it's pinned. And that will take you straight to Heather. And can one of my mods please check that link? I want to make sure that that video is shared. If you have a channel, please go through and share them. Now today is the Spectacle of Scraps final month of the block drop. And the pattern drop, I said block. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's always fun as projects come together. I thought it was posted, but make sure somebody click the link at the top where I have it pinned and make sure it takes you to that particular video that we're talking about. If you're not subscribed to Heather, please do. She's got amazing content over there. And now I'll get back to what I was showing. This is what you will get in your kit when you buy from Legit. It gives you the layout. So when you're laying your block out, that's what you're going to be seeing me do next. Is I don't even fool with this. I just look at the picture, do the layout, and I like to challenge myself. And I visually, in my head, figure out which way I choose to put it together. Now, if it is a long one with many pieces, I go in order the way the pattern says. All right, thank you, Dave. And then once I've got that complete, I just lay it aside and move along. So, as you can see, we have some blocks to put together today. And this one was one whole page. So I'm not worried about that. I just lay it there. And I'll do these in the order. And you'll be able to see what I'm talking about as we build this out. I got to both Heather and Michelle. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to lay this here. And you're going to see the way that we're laying this out. I've had some people give feedback. So I want to make sure that I'm showing you. The pattern, like this piece, I know it has to go up here. And I just lay it out like the pattern says. And then the pattern directions will tell you where to start your assembly. After doing so many, I know I need to start here, and then I'll add this side, then I'll add this side. So this way I can look up and chat with you guys while I do it. I like to pin in the corners, and you're going to see these very tiny white lines in a corner. You're going to want to stick the pin in and make sure that you're lined up straight through the back side. And then I take my pin in at an angle, and that helps hold it just a little bit more. Donna may not be an FPP ambassador, but hands down, she is out of the best to show how to work FPP Pro. Thank you, Day. I appreciate that. So now we're going to the other corner, and you're going to do the same thing where these little white lines are. That's very important, and that's going to help you line up. So just take your time, because it's easier to take your time than rush through, and then you're going to have to date Jack. And no one wants FPP, tiny seams, and a date with Jack all in one day. It's just too much. Now, you can choose here to clip along the way on this part or pin. I personally like to pin because I just stick the pin right through the top part of the gray line and make sure it's coming through the back of the gray line. That way I'm sure I'm staying consistent, and when my blocks measure at the end, they are exactly as they should be. Here you will see the lines here where they have to meet up here. The key would be go slow. You can tack in there just that little piece and do a fold back. But since I've already got it all pinned, I'm going to go ahead and go across. And we will see if I was able to get this in right. But just go slow. When you're FPP, and it's supposed to be enjoyable, supposed to be relaxing. And I think the fun part is just enjoying the process. Now, when you go to fold the back, you make sure that you're lined up here. And as you can see, that lined up. And then you're going to flip over before you take your paper out. And you're going to want to make sure that your 1/4 inch line here is lining up, and then you're going to want to make sure you're lining up here before you take your paper out on this seam. That is honestly one of the most important steps I could tell you. and then we're going to flip. And I use tweezers on the general to get all these seams picked out. But sometimes you can luck out and just pick. And then I do use my clapper a lot, because as I build the next piece or whatever the case may be, I lay the heat on it and just give it a little bit of heat love. And then as the block builds, you'll see me using the clapper a lot. Well, I do, wait a minute. I do all that and it's still, you do great, Day. You really do. You have to give yourself grace. And then we lay it down, and you can follow the direction guide or work it the way you choose. I am going to go to the smaller piece and then we'll join it all together. So make sure, because I asked, you don't want to know, I have poked through and had this pin back before and then had to rip the whole seam. Make sure that you have your finger here when you're pinning that. Otherwise, you could end up sewing it in perfect and then have to rip that paper and tape it back together. And it is honestly a nightmare. You don't want to do that. And then you come down to the other end. And I honestly put my fingers here underneath and pull back. That way I'm sure that it's staying in tidy the way that I need it to. And then I line up here. I know I have this seam here that has to nest right here. The next step I will do is take my pin and go straight through and make sure I'm lined up on the back. And then I'll do the same coming up. And this is the entire process, honestly, on how to join your block, taking your time. Joyce, hello, sweetheart. Paid the rent also. Awesome. And let me see what I have. I'll play catch up for a minute. Last night we got to go visit with Harper and celebrate her 11th birthday with her. And she looks amazing. She goes this Friday, the 6th, and has another heart cath to see if the medicine they're doing for the rejection is helping. And per our son and per her looks, it looks like it's really helping. Her numbers are coming down, but not as fast as what they had hoped. So she may end up needing another infusion, but this biopsy will show what the next step is. Oh, I need to double check myself. I get complacent and I just throw it all in. Peyton is in week 2 of her recovery from the torn labium, and she is biting at the bit to get back to school. So hopefully they have school here tomorrow or this week. We're still under a lot of ice, so I'm not sure. Good morning, Candace. And then I always flip it over and give it some heat love on the front. Now you're going to see you have these little tiny pieces. Take the iron right there because you don't want it to fold over. You want it to lay flat for the next step when we're joining the blocks. And we're just going to lay it down. Now I can see here I have parts that have to come across this X. So I'm going to honestly pinch it there and give it the pinch straight through. And that should give me no problems at the lineup. Keyword, should not. And stay consistent with your gray line. You're coming to the bottom of it as you pin up the side. And I always double check myself. There's nothing worse than sewing it in and have to pick it out because it just slipped or something happened. It's easier to just double check yourself along the way. And if you pin end to end, you can line up this part and then work your way up the block, little steps at a time. And we've got all these lined up, so let's get one block done. And there's 8 blocks, then we'll start the process of joining them together. And like I said, today's live, the ultimate goal is to get these rows built. If you are one of the squirrels, I believe next week, but don't quote me, I don't have my calendar. I will be posting in that group when we'll do our next squirrel gathering. And that's going to be a lot of fun. This week ahead is Quilt of Valor. I really need to work on that because I have 2 more that my goal would be to get done. So February, you're going to see a lot of Quilt of Valor over here. The Quilting 101, back to the basics. We have 1 more week, and you're going to start seeing the blocks come out by all the creators. And I do ask that you please share all of these videos. It'll be dropping on Wednesdays, with the exception of when Miss Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore. She will drop on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now, look how pretty that turned out. When you're paying attention, all of your points will line up. Sometimes they might come askew. You can choose to keep it lined up, or you can choose to pick out just where it's at, take the paper off the back, and you can manipulate it just a smidge. But I don't think you'll have any trouble there. And I kind of like to clean up as I go. But even doing that, these little tiny papers, they end up on your clothes and your socks, the whole 9 yards. So as you can see, you will end up with FPP all over your house. Now this is an easy one, right? No. You have all these lines that have to merge together. That's why I kept this one like it is. So here I have this little piece, and I'm checking it because I don't want that to get caught. So I'm going to give it just a little bit of heat love and push it down so that when I'm joining this, it will come in together nice and tidy. And let's stick a pin in it at the corner. And then we're going to stick the pin in here. And that's just one more place that you need to be careful when you're joining these. And I'd take the corners, like I said, in at an angle. I make sure my fabric's laying flat. And the key word is right there, just lined up. That's either lucky to draw, and now here I have the lines that go like this. I need to make sure that they're going to match on each side. If they're going to match on each side, then there should be no trouble with this. So I'm going to make sure that that is lined up there, and I'm only going to come right up above it. That's going to be a thick seam. So I do not want that to shift. When I come down, you're going to hear the machine go thud, thud, thud. But we're going to go slow and steady. And here it needs to join as well. And anytime you see me using a lot of pins, you know it's something that has to really match up. So they're very sporadic. Good morning, Joyce. So drop my foot, pull that pin out in the corner because no need to sew over one right there. But you will see me, I do sew over my pins. I just, I take my time and hope for the best. And I go slow over them. And And we'll pull the pins out and keep it going. And before I pull this out, we want to make sure that I hit the mark right here. And then we'll flip it over and make sure that you can just push these down, that you're lined up here. Thank you for subbing to me, Pat. You guys are amazing. Yes, my moderators. Michelle has a channel. Donnell has a channel. Heather has a channel. Day is my lead mod. Let me see. I don't know who all my mods are anymore. I think that's pretty well, I've really cut it back. Janine. And then just press it down, stick your fingers in here, and uniforms washed. Don't you hate when the white socks goes in the net? Oh no. I bet they come out the prettiest little shade of blue. I have done that myself, so trust me. Yes. Let me see. If you have a channel and you're here today and you want your link dropped, please drop a heart in the chat, and that will let the moderators know to drop your channel. And we'll flip this over and just, we've only got a few more to join. But there's different angles and things. So I'm taking it slow, and hopefully at the end of today, you will either see different ways, different styles, because everybody that does Legit Kit, Violet Craft, the sky's the limit. Everybody has their own spin, their own techniques. And hopefully you watch them all and take a little bit from each one. Dry pipes here. So, as you can see, I have this little tiny one. And this will join at the bottom. And all of these little lines, this is sometimes challenging where you have to pick and line up. And here it will be challenging because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 places this needs to come together. So we're going to do it, and we're going to make this work. It's just slow pinning, slow working it. And if you think FPP is fast and you can do it fast, you need to come teach me, because I go slow. I feel I go slow anyway. And I work it. There's a lot there. And I just know I have to pin a lot. And I want to make sure that I'm coming in everywhere I need to. That one there, I need to make sure. That one slipped a little. That's going to be a heavy seam. So I need to change the way I'm going to pin that. But for right now, I need to just get everything lined up. And don't mind the dead air. Somebody come sing to me. And honestly, this is the funnest part for me. It's kind of like watching a puzzle come together. And double checking, triple checking yourself. It might be a pain in the tuchus, but it saves you in the long run. All right, now I think we got it. I know, dead air. La 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 la. Auntie Donna going slow is my speed with my legit lion. No. Below the title of today's episode, it helps the channel. Thank you, guys. Yes. Brenda, thank you. That means a lot. Yes. When you give the thumbs up, not just in the chat, but in the video description area, it lets YouTube know that you do like the content. The more that you talk in the chat helps keep the algorithm going and shoot you into a stronger algorithm. So it's all about figuring out what works for you and your channel. So this is with a lick and a promise, and see if I got it all to line up. Want to make sure that lines up and that lines up. What are some things you don't want to forget when packing for retreats? Ooh, one. Are you asking me or everybody else, Brenda? I would be upset if I packed for retreats, had everything loaded, almost make it to retreat, and forgot my own projects. Yeah. I dropped 3 quilts off at the man on Saturday. When I finish this, joining the backings, I can drop 3 more off. Think I'm going to take out a bank loan for payments. Aw, bless your heart. Good thing to get them done up. I love stiletto. Yep, I'd be lost. Yes, absolutely. That would be one. Absolutely. What is your, I got one. What is your favorite quilting tool? Like Brenda, hers is the stiletto. That can be costly for sure, yes. Joe, can you get down on the table in the quilting room? And you're going to see an iron, a blue or a teal iron. Can you bring that up for me? This one, it's on its last leg and it's smoking. No, it's time to retire. Yeah, when it's throwing smoke, it's time to say goodbye. Juki, yes. Absolute. Yeah, I'll keep pushing on this till it shoots up flames. Don't forget yourself. Yeah, that's done for. And that was the other one they replaced March. It didn't last a year. That's what day? The second one? It just I'm going to switch brands, I tell you. I'm going to have to get you to come behind me and plug me in. And unplug this hot one. I don't know where you want to put it. It's plugged in. This one's smoking. Hold on, guys. There. Okay. And this one. There, honey. Thank you. You're You're amazing. You the man. That's hot. It's still smoking. Sorry, guys. Feel the side of it? You can't even hold the top. Yeah, it's got to cool. Yeah, it was smoking out the sides of it. It's got to cool before we throw it in the trash. Take that box there, Joe, in front of the window and lay it on my... All right. That's what you call smoking hot iron. So, now we're going to get back to work. LOL, right, Brenda? Last October, my husband and son asked me if I'd left anything in my sewing room. It feels like when you go to retreat, you're moving out. It takes me the better part of a week up here to pack up things. And then every time Joe goes down, he takes a load to the long arm room, and then it eventually makes its way to the vehicle. But I have a large checklist now I never had before for me with hosting. As much as those cost, you think they would last longer? Absolutely. My fingers are hot, so I'm giving them a second to cool. The most important thing to have with you in the retreat, the first aid kit. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's in my permanent travel bag. But I've had mine 2 years, but I can't sew as much as you. Yeah, I think I just go through them because they're honestly on better part of 12-hour days. You need Teflon fingers. Yes, most definitely. So, fold this little piece back. It's lined up. And pick it out. I think our little Alyssa's last about 2 years if we are lucky. They are definitely something else, right? So I don't think Heather's here, so I can talk about her. Who is loving her project, The Spectacle of Scraps? I'm telling you what, I'm definitely love that one. And then the potato chip, I'm being honest, I had never done one. And they kicked that so long off for us. And that turned out amazing. That was definitely a fun one to do. No. It's okay. I got it up. No, it's not up. There. I just didn't turn on the button. No way. You're going to be a smarty that gets bit up really hard. I'm loving watching everyone else. I'm hoping to be getting back to my Spectacle of Scraps soon. You have it on your list, Donna Brush. I've enjoyed working with Heather's pattern and seeing everyone's take on it in the different scraps. It's amazing to me how one pattern can take on so many different dimensions. I'm using the wrong word. They all look so different. It's mind-blowing to me. Let me see. Hello, Bob. Welcome to the chat. Sorry I missed you. Gotta feed the boy Candace. I have to braid the freezing temps to go to Costco. No. Uh-oh, Donna is going to punch Joe in the nose today. Oh, no, I've never. I love him. I tease him now. Yes, ma'am, right now I'm thinking I'll be back to working on in April or May. I get it. Exactly. He gives me a list of foods. I finished a potato chip quilt. Janine seems to like it. I bet she does. I bet she does. So I'll quit chatting up so much and just keep working. You guys just chat amongst yourself. And I'm just going to walk you through what I'm doing, because this one is a little bit bigger. And I want to pull the picture. Okay, we've got A, B, and C done. This one is number 5. I want to make sure I'm doing the layout correctly. And then I just get working on it. A and B. So like I said, there's so many different ways that you can choose to do your projects. The sky's the limit. It's telling me a long list of the way to do. I'm going to come to this side, and I always build right to left. I see, honey. I see. What has your favorite quilt been in 2025 that you have worked on? It doesn't have to be anything from any particular channel, but what has your favorite project been that you worked on? It doesn't even have to be completed. We try to do it all, and you know what? Sometimes we just can't do it all. And that's okay. I'm learning this year to slow down and enjoy the ride. I set myself goals, and I hope that I can achieve them all, but if not, that's okay. Bargello, you taught us. Yeah, Bargello is coming back in March. So tomorrow night, I will be talking about the Bargello project for March so that everybody comes prepared and ready to go. Because that one is, I'm just loving this one. So I'll be giving you the measurements. I have the design wall behind me, and we're going to work that poppy. Why did you not? I have my thread. The needle is threaded. My machine sometimes wants to give me a fit. And I pinned it and unpinned it because I thought it said. So see, accidents happen on my side of the house too. So now I get to repin this puppy. And I can smile through it or stomp my feet. Ooh. It's okay. And I'm just going to come down and repeat the whole process all over again. What did I learn from this lesson? Make sure it's sewing. Meant to make a pattern. I'm excited for that. I already have my strips ready. No Bargello for day. She's in a close confinement where she's at. She can't do the Bargello. Something is not right here. So let's check the machine out. Pull here. This one needs to come back. Sorry guys, but my machine sounded funny, and I don't know why. So I'm rechecking, threading, the whole 9 yards. Make sure everything's done right. Go out. Go out. If your machine sounds funny, or it just sounds different, stop what you're doing. Take that minute to double check. Because if it don't feel right, something's wrong and you need to check it. Now that's better. Don't have a clue what I fixed, but it's fixed. And pop the pins. Bob, my daughter lives in Florida and they have huge icicles. Ooh. Where to go, Donna? Let me see. I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'm going to show you a few tips, tricks, and strategies to prep and get ready for the Bargello. Yeah, look, that is crazy. I have a ton of threads there that they just can't stay. And I don't know if the machine hiccup. I don't know what happened. But I will not put a quilt together with that mess, so I'm going to take the second and go ahead and just cut them out. Because that's going to give me bulk, and I don't like bulk in my legits. Okay. So move this over. Check my sim. And we're going to do the open up. Yeah, this is the iron I generally use on the long arm. I can get it to heat up, go over on the long arm, and just press whatever I need. Nice and tidy. See, spell check, I'm making a mess today. Bob, my daughter lives in Florida, saw that. Day I was like, wait a minute, Mickey. Finished a strip tube pattern. Ooh, I bet that's pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now this here is going to drive me crazy, so I'm taking the paper out because I know that lined up. You don't have to keep all of the paper in. And if it's just hanging there, it's not going to do you any favors. And it's okay to pop them out. That one is not lining up. Give me just a second and I look up and talk to you guys. Yes, you'd love it in blues. I'm into that. Blues is my color. Anybody knows me knows blue is my color. And I should be further along today in this, but I'm enjoying your company. And thank you guys for coming. So if you're doing the spectacle of scraps today, did you get the email from Heather for the link? Because it's going to be a good time hanging out today, listening to everyone's take on the project and watching the last of it come together. Now, if you're doing the spectacle of scraps, I do need for you to post pictures in the squirrel group or send me a picture because I'm just so proud of that project. I've got everybody sending the pictures of this project with the potato chip, and I'm just blown away by the different way all of them look. Same pattern, just different fabrics, the different look it takes. Donna, isn't it next week? I thought it was today. Hold on. Close out on the 7th. Yeah, it is. It's next week. But anyway, I'll be sewing today. If you want to come sew with me and hang out today, drop me a heart in the chat. I put it on my screen up here. It's up the first Saturday. So I'm going to do the squirrel hangout today for those that want to hang. Yeah, I had my week backwards. Thank you, Day. I would have had everybody over here waiting and waiting. I really was pushing that, right? Yeah, I thought Heather's thing was today, honey. It's not. It's next Saturday. I had it, I'll pop in when I get home. Okay, we're just going to do an all-day hangout. If you want to hang out, reach out. Yes. No worries when I get paid the big bucks. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It pays to be important day. The quilting grandma, hey, Debbie. How are you feeling, sweet pea? I hope you're doing well. And I think everybody in YouTube land today is doing the FPP. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you say so, Donna. What? Yeah, you know, smarty. And walla bing, walla bang. It all lined up. Very happy with it. I need to figure out what I'm going to work on after I iron the orchids. Do your quilt of valor. Do another one. You have plenty of fabric. These Spanish-speaking people, I'm going to have to get my Spanish translator. But then that's not always correct. It talks funny. Or types funny, I should say. The key is make sure your seams are flat. I've still got 3 more to join. I won't get those done today. So I'll just go ahead and start building out. Because I don't want to keep them all day. So let me put this one back over here. Okay, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'll do it this way. So, easiest way to do it is move to the left, and you're going to join the big block, and you're going to make it into 4 patch. And then the 4 patch into 8 patch, and so on. And that joins it together ever so nicely. I know Dead Air Joe, but I need to talk. Husband's over here humming at me. He needs the mic up and talk to you. I need to figure out what I'm doing. I already got that. Joe, it's hard for me to do numbers and talk. Please mic up and talk. Do what? This man of mine. Okay, raise your hand if you can hear Joe giving me a hard time. I have to pick on him today. Today is his day. He's over here whispering, they can't hear me. Good morning, Donna and Joe. Happy Thursday, Sunday, 28 degrees in sunny Florida. Awesome. You got a heat wave. That is definitely a big heat wave compared to here. Always. Hi to everyone. Can't type too much. Streamers are really bad. Love y'all. Talk to me, Papa Joe. I can hear. See, they can hear you. No, not now that you're whispering. He's going to kill me. So if I come up missing. It's too funny. He's going like this, I have to tell you. They can't hear me. They can't hear me. That's what's funny. You come up missing, Papa Joe, you better run. He would never. I like to pick on him. Donna, is your date night over? Shouldn't it last through the day? No, it started yesterday morning. That date's done. She wore her hubby out. Dancing, partying. She are wild cards. Definitely our wild card. He's doing something wrong. You said, I'm not.
Keep it clean.
He said, ladies, it's Sunday, keep it clean. He said, no nastiness, no nastiness. He's too cute. Okay, so I have these two sections built. I'll set these aside and I'll do the A of those two, and then we'll join that section, put it up there, and I'll give you half of the head of a dog. How's that? And then I'll work on the final parts. And when you see it tomorrow night, you'll see the whole top row complete. I've been awake since 6 a.m. and yes, I am exhausted, but I can't go back to sleep. Oh, girl, girl, girl. And that's okay. Hey, 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 Heather. Do what? No such thing. He knows you guys so well. He's cracking me up over here, ladies and gents. Just too much. Hold on 1 second. I have to answer that. I know he's picking on me. Someone says, Papa picking on you. Just woke up. Hey, everybody. Heather, I loved your video. on Quilt of Valor. I'm so proud of you. And I told everybody to go watch. I hope that was okay. The minions let you sleep in. She had them duct taped to the chair. No, I'm kidding. Sometimes mamas need a good rest to regenerate. I wish I could get her to fly in here and just rest. But we wouldn't rest. We would be out ripping the roads. She would go home tireder than she came. Joe would be out picking on her, you know. As he does. Just a little. So who is honestly excited for the next Bargello? That is honestly going to take up March. I can tell you that. And it's going to be a fun one. Not that they haven't been before, but I just love a good Bargello. 3. Let me see. 3 and 4. So let me see. Remember to pin. Not it. I didn't think you would be in, Debbie. But you like to be on the sideline, cheering us on. That's okay. Plus, travel itself is stressful. No, I just put you on a plane and bring you. You sleep through it. I'm excited. This is going to look so cute. I can't wait for you to see this one. So pop, get all of those out. Remember, keep your seams lined up, and my thread keeps breaking today. Popped all of the pins to find out it did it again. It's catching on something. That is a-okay. Things happen. So I'm going to line up here once again. Hey, Andrea, good morning, sweetheart. Howdy, everyone. It must be a legit kid morning. I just finished over at Sean's. I think so as well, man. I didn't know everybody was doing Legit Kid Sunday. Yeah. Just too cute. So just zip it in. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do. You pop your pepper. And we're just going to keep ripping at it and ripping at it. And we're going to have this top A1, A2, B1, B2 ready to attach. I am lurking this morning. Ooh. Welcome to the chat. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, I popped in over there and told them good morning and came along my merry way. Okay, so now we're going to take and join the bottom, and you're going to see how this is coming along. So anytime you're joining your sections together, you're making sure everything is lined up nice and tidy. I choose, when I'm doing the 4-patch method, I make sure I line up the dead center first. Because if you're off everywhere else, nothing's going to matter. Then come out to the sides and do your points. Pop those in on the both ends. And this really does help as you're sewing the long seam in. Remember, your seams, your needles are going to come inwards. We're going to tip back. And here is another line that we have to make sure that it does line up. Coming right along, we're going to do the same here. And there. And we're just going to go slowly over all these needles. I do have quite a bit in today. And like I said, my goal for today is to get A and B attached to C and D. That is goals. You know, we all have to have goals. And then prepping for tomorrow night. Awesome, Andrea. They are greatly appreciated by those that receive them. I'm finishing up my second Quilt of Valor to come your way. I hope to have a third by the end of the month. Awesome. Anybody that's mailing me the Quilt of Valor, just the tops, please remember to include the binding. Otherwise, when it comes, I'll be working up binding and sending along. It just saves me a step. They've got amazing long armors who will long arm for them. And the batting's been donated graciously. And we really want to give back. This is our anniversary year. And it's so important every year. But this year, it's a little more. That we want to just wrap a quilt around them, say thank you for your service. So if you're interested and you haven't heard Quilts of Valor, please check out their website that I am taking quilt donations all year long. But the first round of them will end, I have to have in my hands by March the 1st. And then the next one, March, April, June, I would say July. And then that'll give them a chance to get them long arms in time to distribute awards today. So see how that lined up nice and tidy. And the key in the FPP, honestly, is just take your time. There is no need to rush. Not at all. If you can't get your seams to lay flat and you have this point here, let me pull this over. Right here, there's a lot of fabric there. I just honestly take my fingernail down into that and finger press it, and then I'll bring the iron over top of it. And then I'll work my way the rest of the way up. And we're going to get this to lay as flat as possible. Now there's a lot of bulk right here where my fingernail is. So I'm going to go slow and come across that. That's where all those pivotal points line up. Your Quilt of Valor is up. Next one on my list, I need to make 3 for family members as well. Awesome. I think many of us as well. Amen. Yep. There's just not enough thank yous in the world for those that serve. Now, does that not look cute, right? So I'll bring these over. And we're going to, this one should not be a bad join. I use my stiletto to press, I use my nails. I figure they're fine, and I just pop them right down in that seam. If I hit them with an iron then, it's okay, I won't feel it. And remember, just keep everything straight. That's the key. pop that over just a little. I want that pepper to stay in just for this seam, and then I'll be okay if it comes out. Because I need this to line up. And let's get this one in. And anytime you're sewing your seams together, if you think by chance you're off just a little or you're just not sure somewhere, it's easy to roll up on it. And like I'm going to show you, this is demonstration. I raised my stitch length for this last little section just so I can show you. Because it's silly to be unsure and then have a hard picking session. So like right here, I really wanted to make sure that this lined up. And they did. But if they wouldn't have, and this not lined up, it would have been so much easier to have that stitch length raised. So I'll put it back under. I just wanted to use that to show you. And I'll drop it back down to the 1.4. And I hope that made sense to you guys. I have broken every nail I have off and uncovering rabbits the last couple of weeks. I have no idea what you're talking about. Do what? I can't hear you. Oh, okay. Are you raising rabbits, Andrea? I don't know. Or is it one of your patterns? I don't know. I've broken off all my nails, covering and uncovering rabbits. She must have found them, maybe. I don't know. Please explain. I'm interested. I use my stiletto, Quilter Valor. I'm trying to go backwards up the chat. And I know this has been a little bit longer of a live. A dozen. Oh, wow. Do you raise them outside or do you have them in for this cold snap? Well, honey, I'm asking questions. Well, I can't hear you. You have to talk up. I've raised meat rabbits. Ooh. Gotcha. That sounds delightful. Yummy. My mom used to fry rabbit and it tasted like chicken. That was back in the day. At the markets anymore, you really don't know what you're getting. Hey, Sass, how you doing, sweetheart? It's good to see you. So now we've got A and B done. Let me flip this over. Whoops. Needed to stay that way. We'll get this piece and I'll have Joe pin it up behind me. And all these lines must line up. So that's why I wanted to make sure I at least got this far for you today to show you this technique. Sometimes it works. Mostly it does. Andrea, my grand, used to raise rabbits for me too. Nothing wrong with that. You have to eat. So I got the end coming to the center. And honestly, I will baste this entire row in because this is too long a row for me to go back and have a date with Jack. So when you see me join long sections, I can almost assure you, you will see me basting. Because, like I said, it's easier to manipulate, pull around, pop a stitch, whatever the case may be. So raise it back up. And this time I just took it up way higher. Stay on your gray line. And we'll pop this open and see how I did. Okay, this one, as you can see, it's not lined up to my liking. So here I need to come in just a little bit more. So the way that I'm going to handle that is I'm going to fold it over. And I'll stick this pin right here in it so I know where I need to pop that. I'll come all the way down. All of these are lined up. All of these are lined up. And right here, this one I need to change and move up just a pinch. So I use these pink ones kind of like as a guide. Where I need to change, where I need to pull a stitch, whatever the case may be. Don't be afraid to pop it if they don't line up. So the easiest way, baste it. So right here, it did not line up to my liking. And I won't put it together just for purposes of saying, ooh, I got it in. That's not going to happen. So it's easier to just do it right. So that I know I need to go over. And down here, I need to pop just so they line up the way they need to. Open it up and see how far I need to come down to the gray. And that just is kind of like a little guide. Now this area here needs to shift up. So when I open this up, I'm just going to pull the fabric just a smidge. Realign, and we'll check it one more time. Pull up and realign. And I will not sew all of this. I will only sew where those pins are this go around. Donna, that looks awesome. Thank you, sweetie. So I'm going in here and we're going to continue to baste until I get this to where it's satisfactory to me. I'm not going to do the whole thing as I said. We're going to come down here and just hit it with the baste. Just where I changed those. Pop this. And sometimes when you're doing so many, it could take you 3, 4, 5 tries. So don't worry about it. Now they all line up. So now this go around, I'll just drop my stitch length down to where it needs to be. Move all these pins out of the way because this will drag across them. Move this over here out of the way. And we're going to anchor it in now. Here, by anchoring it in, I mean I'm going to back tack at the top. because I don't like things to come apart once I put so much work into them. And even though it's going to hang for a little bit while I'm working on the other areas of this project, it's going to be taken up and down off the design wall, which the paper pulls off and it puts stress on the seams. There's many, many reasons. So back tack anytime you get the chance, once you're sure you're lined up the way you need to be. Pop all these out. We'll give it a press and I'll have Joe hang it up on the left side of the head. And then you'll be able to see we did get that done. And when you see this tomorrow night on the live, you will see that I only had 3 pieces to put together yet. 3 blocks, but that's going to keep you a little while longer. And I'm sure you would like to go have your breakfast. That's a good way to do FPP base first, then anchor stitch. Yes, that's the only way I can, honestly, I would get really upset with myself if I don't, because I don't like having long dates with Jack. I would rather pick a couple pops of a seam than to have to do the whole thing. So let me move this over. The only place I'm going to have the big bulk is at those heavy seams. I'm taking my nail down the seam just as you have seen me do all morning and give it a little press. A little tiny bit of heat. On that big junction, I will honestly leave the heat sit there for just a few minutes. It's not going to hurt it. You're not burning your fabric up. We've gotten rid of that hot iron today. And then we just keep pulling it along. I do like all of my seams open. Generally, I will use an acorn pin. And before I pull the paper, I will go over everything with my acorn pin. My tip broke, so I ordered a new one, and I'm waiting on it to come. That's why you're not seeing me do it like I normally do. And for some reason, Amazon sells the replacement tips, but it's on back order, and I'm sure it's on a ship somewhere coming to me. I just don't have an ETA anymore. It will show up when it shows up. All right, Joseph, let me show him where to hang this. This is going up on this side. This side. Done. Yeah, this side. Oops.
Oh, well.
You have to take it out.
Oh.
Yes. And you have to tack it because the paper on it. It has to be a little straighter. I can't get over here today. Yep. Sorry, it fell, honey. That's crooked. All right, that up top's crooked. But that gives you the general idea of how it's coming along. So what did you guys think? Did you learn anything from the techniques I was showing you today? And who's ready to have a good girls hangout today, or guys? Anybody wants to come? I'll drop the link in the chats. That's a good way. Hello, Laura. I have messy desk right here, but can you see it's coming along? And the other part once I get these last 3 blocks built out, it will be up there, and then I'll join those 2, and then I'll fold it down and join the top. That's the ultimate goal for today. Looks very good. Thank you. I love working kits. I can't help myself. Good morning, Debronka. How are you, honey? All right, guys, it's 10:30. I've chatted your ears off today. I want to tell you thank you for coming, and I will see you back here tomorrow night if you want to sew. So I'll see you then, guys. Take care, God bless, and have a fabulous Sunday.